Hi, I'm Kristen, and I'm getting over a cold, so I'm kind of stuffy. So if sound funny, that's why. So the point of this video is just to talk out some decks that I'm considering getting rid of, selling, swapping, what have you. So I have a number of them and I just don't use them. And so, for any number of reasons, so I'll start just from the beginning. So, from the top. So, the Golden Tarot. I am considering getting rid of this um, because I don't use it. Um, it's a beautiful deck. It's very beautiful, but it's very Catholic feeling. Hold on, it's very slippery. Let's see. There's like a lot of imagery in it that looks. My ring light is hitting it. Um, there's a lot of imagery in it that feels very Catholic. And in fact, I got the deck specifically to read for Christian clients. But it's so rare that I actually have clients, and it's even rarer for those clients to be Christian. Um, like I specifically got it to use for my husband's family because they're Catholic. But I've had no opportunity to read for them for years. So it's just been sitting on my shelf for years. It's a stunning deck. It has lovely gilding on it. Um, but I just don't use it. Just don't use it. Um, Maybe I should give it a shot. I don't know. I mean, it is so stunning. The artwork is stunning, but I'm not an angels person. Like, I don't work with angels. I'm Norse pagan, so I don't. Angels just aren't part of our pantheon. They're not part of our cosmology. So there's a lot of angels in here as well. But at the same time, I very easily and very joyfully use the original Rider-Waite-Smith, and that has angels in it. So I'm being kind of hypocritical. But I don't know. Not sure. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. So that's one. The next one is The Stunning Tarot by Yonasa Yao. Like, I loved this deck when I saw it online. Loved it. I was obsessed with it, and it has one of my favorite Empress cards right on top. That's one of my favorite Empress cards. It's a gorgeous deck. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. I don't know how to read with it. Like, I read Rider-Waite-Smith, and so and apparently the meanings she derives partly from like a Marseille system, and and there is a guidebook, I believe. Yeah, I think there's a guidebook. Yeah, there's a guidebook that a PDF. I still can't read with it. I still don't, I'm not really grasping the meanings. I don't know if it's a language barrier, but I don't know. So that's the big problem with this deck is that every time I try to read with it, I don't know what it's saying. Um, a lot of the cards, especially the minors, just I'm like, what are you saying to me? What does this image mean in relation to how I understand the tarot? And as beautiful as it is, I'm not a collector. I don't get decks just to have them. And that's what this deck is. I'm actually missing a deck that I'm thinking of getting rid of in the pile. Anyway, um, And that's what this would become. It's just a collector's item. Um, yeah, I mean, it's gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. There's pentacles. Let's see, wands. Yeah, see, like this is the Four of Wands, and it's a woman with a baby. So this has a very empressy feel to me, but it's the Four of Wands. Like she doesn't look very celebratory, and that's how I see the Four of Wands, a celebration. So yeah, gorgeous, stunning. Hence the name, Stunning Tarot. Um, but I'm not using it. Maybe I should give it another try. Okay, the next deck is, I hate to say, the Money Tarot. This is a gorgeous, high quality deck. And I got it specifically. Not, I mean, there's many reasons why I got it, but one of the reasons was Napoleon was on the Emperor card, and I went through this phase where if Napoleon was in a deck, I had to have it. And I still kind of had that impulse. I actually just got a deck, and one of the reasons I got it was because Napoleon was in the deck. So, and it's a beautiful deck, and it has like different currency for different ones, and he did a lot of research, and it's beautifully done. However, I don't do financial readings. I don't think I ever have had a financial question. I don't do financial readings for myself. I don't do predictive readings, so I'm not going to predict financial success or ruin or problems or is the house going to go through, and I don't do those kind of questions. So it just sits on my shelf. Lovely gilding again. So I'm thinking of rehoming that. But yeah, beautiful deck. Just don't use it. Let's see. Okay, so Sacred Symbols for Divination and Meditation Oracle deck. I got this because I saw it on someone else's channel. I don't remember whose it was, and they were just raving about it. So it was an impulse buy. But it's very simple. It's a very, very simple symbols. And so I'm not really sure how to use it. I mean, I know that you can use them for clarifiers like New Life, Message. I'm not even sure. Okay, Message. You got a message? What's the message? Soulmate. I don't believe in soulmates. Veiled. So I mean, the artwork's pretty, but I don't use it. It's not one that I'm gonna grab for like a clarifier. Really, the deck that I grab the most as a clarifier is my own rune deck. That seems to function the best for clarifiers. So I get oracle decks either as clarifiers or as a focal point. So it's the card I would pull first. And so if someone was like, oh, I don't know what to do a reading on, I pull a card from a oracle deck, and that will tell me the theme. Or I do it for like shadow work, just personal reflection. That's mostly what I use my oracle decks for. And I don't do any of that for this deck. So that one. Okay, so the Mother Mary Oracle. This is not my deck. This was my mother's deck. Now, do I keep this? There's the backs. do I keep this deck even though I don't work with Mary? Because it was my mother's deck. I already have a deck of hers. It's the Wisdom of the Shadow. I kept that. I'm keeping that. I had a copy of Wisdom of the Shadow and I gifted that to a friend. And then I kept my mother's copy. So I do have a deck that was my mother's, and I'm going to be using it. I will use that deck. This one, I'm not going to use because I don't work with Mary Energy. Beautiful deck, beautiful artwork, gorgeous. And it deserves to be in a home with someone who will appreciate it more. But at the same time, it was my mom's. So I'm not 100% sure I'm getting rid of this. And if I do, maybe I'll wait a while longer. Yeah. It's a beautiful deck. But yeah, don't use it. I won't be using it. But I'm not a hugely sentimental person as far as objects go. But at the same time, I do want to keep things to remember my mom by. Okay, so the Eros Tarot. Like the last time I showed this, I'm going to have to go through, because I don't want to show you, I'll show you pictures with nudity in them, so just newsflash, there's nudity in this deck. But some of it is very graphic. So I won't show you those. So there's this one. This one. The Hangman. And that's a woman doing shibari, which I do. So I won't show you that one. I won't show you that one. Think. Any of them can I show? Here's one. Now, the artwork is great. It's very well done, but but the card stock is not the best. It feels pretty cardboardy. And the backs are ugly as sin. And same with this strip right here. It just does not match the artwork. But also, am I really going to pull this out and read with it? I'm not. Like, it was another impulse buy, because I love the idea of it. But am I going to use it? Like, I pulled it out a few weeks ago to try to start using it, and it just felt weird. It just felt like, I don't know. I am a very, huge proponent of sexuality and embracing your sexuality. So I don't have like a problem with the artwork. But there's a context. Like artwork provides a context, and this context is sex. And how often am I going to do readings about sex? Not often. Sometimes, yeah. But I mean, I have other decks that work just as well. You don't have to have a sexy deck to do a reading on sex. So that's another one I'm thinking about. Don't know. Not sure. Excuse me. Okay, what else? Okay. Orion's Animal Tarot. Now, I was in love with this when I first got it. Like, I was enamored with the artwork, like, out of the gate. It's like my only 100% animal deck. I don't usually fall for decks that are just animals. Um, the artwork's pretty. It's very pretty, and I really like the idea of reading with these different animal symbols. Um, are they upside down? These are upside down. How'd that happen? Um, but I don't use it. Like, I pulled it out the other day to try to use it, and I'm just like, it's not really speaking to me anymore. Got lovely gilding. But it just seems like a lot of, I mean, some of these are indie decks, but I think most of them are, yeah, the rest are mass market. So I think maybe I have an issue with mass market decks. Yeah, and the cardstock isn't something to write home about. It's kind of flimsy. Um, but like it's a very thick book, very nice book. Um, I don't know. Oh, cat. Um, I don't think I'm gonna use it. I don't use animal decks. Um, so I'll probably rehome that one. Let's see. And then there's this one, which is the Impressionist Tarot, which has its own Van Gogh bag, even, that I ordered for it. And I don't use it. So, and basically, some artist had this phenomenal ability to mimic the art of these impressionist painters. And so a lot of these are someone else's artwork mimicking the artwork, which is fine. I don't have an issue with that. They're the backs. They look like the back of a painting. But again, as much as I love impressionist paintings and specifically Van Gogh, yeah, I never grab it. I never go for it. So I think I will let this one go with the bag to make it nicer. Maybe. I'm not sure what else I could use this bag for. I don't know. I'm not a crystal collector either, so it's not. I wouldn't be able to put crystals in there. Maybe my runes. There you go. Some Degas. Yeah, it's a very pretty deck, and it was a gift for my husband. So, part of me wants to keep it because of that. And part of me wants to keep it just for in memory of our trip to Amsterdam and France when we did a Van Gogh tour. So yeah, and we went to the Museum d'Orsay the first time we were in France, and that has all the impressionist artwork there. So yeah, and okay, next one. I've been trying to sell this for a while now, and no one's biting. I think it's because you can get it so inexpensively on Amazon. The newer ones I personally think are much nicer. I have one of the newer ones on my wish list. But I'm not really a moon phase kind of person. I'll do moon readings, like full moon and new moon readings. But I don't have a relationship with the moon. It's not a huge part of my spiritual practice. So it's a pretty deck, but I'm not using it. I'm not going to use it. Maybe I'm going to have to take this to half price books. I think that I'm going to have to do that. Some of these I'm going to just have to take to half price books. And that's Moonology. And then Work Your Light Oracle cards. I just don't like the artwork. The messages, a lot of the messages are fine. But the artwork isn't calling to me. I'm not exactly sure why I got it to begin with if the artwork wasn't calling to me. Maybe I just wanted to expand my horizons and try to get into a different style. But this deck just ain't it. It's just not doing it for me. And it's not fluffy. It is not a fluffy deck. The messages can be very intense. So in that way, I do have respect for the deck, but it's just a bit too pink for me, a bit too pastel-y. Then I have another one that I'm thinking of rehoming if I can, but it's back there. Hold on. This is the Tarot de Paris with a deck or a bag with a map of Paris on it. Apparently it's one of the oldest complete tarot decks. I mean, not literally, it's a copy of it. What's going on here? Anyway, I got this in a phase where I thought I would collect things having to do with France. You know, I wanted it because it had the word Paris in it. And so but I'm not going to read with it. I generally don't read with pip decks. I'm willing to sometimes, but this isn't the one I'm going to grab. Come on. See, just not going to do it. And I'm not even really fond of the artwork either. And it's sharp. Like the corners are, ow, the corners aren't rounded, so I poke myself with it. But the box itself, it's up there, but it's falling apart. It fell apart. So I have this bag. So I'm thinking of rehoming this one as well. But that's it. Those are all the decks that I'm thinking of calling from my collection. How I'm going to do that, I don't know. Some I will try to sell or swap online, and some I'll probably just take the half price books because people aren't going to buy them from me. So that's it. You have a good day. I might do another video later. Excuse me, depending on how I feel and if I have the time. But until then, bye-bye.